Okay, so tomorrow, the first thing I would tell my kids is that, we're going to take a benchmark tomorrow. Okay, if you're groaning about it, don't. Let's have a positive attitude. We're looking for growth. So if you made a 35 on the last one, aim for a 45. And that's when I'd point to them the goals and say, do you want to beat these other kids who say y'all can't make it above 50, or a third grade that, hasn't made it above there. Let's, say the office doesn't believe we can do it, so let's show them. And I know that y'all are tired of doing multiplication tables, but, it's a part of it. It gives us equivalent fractions, it gives us multiplication, it gives us division, and that's a lot of our test. So we need to do that. So when you get that grid tomorrow in your benchmark, what do we want you to make? A multiplication chart. And ask the kids, what's the first thing that you should put on it? An X, because it's multiplication. Then what? Well, number 1 through 12, both ways. You can do the zeros if that's what your kids are comfortable with, but anything times 0 is 0, and to me is a waste of my time. Heck, and we don't even do ones in 4th grade. We just do 2 through 12s, but whatever y'all want to do is fine. I always told my kids to highlight this. Kevin, the fan. So, I'm sorry, the fan's blowing my stuff all over. Let me get my highlighter. I thought I was prepared. And then I would tell them to highlight, just because it, to me, makes it stand out that this is not a part of the multiplication table, that this is the frame. And then tell them, do some of the easy ones first. Let's just count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we're saying them, I want you writing them. 11, 12. Literally that fast. All right, let's count by twos. And as we count by twos, we're going to write. So don't speak faster than y'all can write. When someone says 2, y'all should write down 2. Then what? 4, write it down. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Don't count faster than y'all can talk. 20, 22, 24. I literally would be moving that fast with my class. Let's do 5s. Count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. All right, 9s. Let's do a trick with the 9s. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go backwards. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's most of the 9s. And 9 plus 9 is 99. And then I could count on my fingers 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10s, let's count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 plus 10, 110, 10 more, 120. And they should be writing them as y'all are saying them. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. Now this is where it gets weird. So you have it right here though. 11 times 10 is 110. And 11 times 11, 121, which I would just think plus 10 plus 1. Plus 10, well 21 becomes 31, plus 1 more. Because 11 is 10 plus 1, right? They should know 144 is the end, without a doubt, no matter what else. All right, and then that's when I would teach them. Y'all have seen me, a lot of y'all, using your hand, where this is your writing hand, and this hand would be the counting. I don't know if I can do it while writing, but I would tell them, all right, get your counting finger. 3 plus 3 is 6, count. 7, 8, 9, write it. 10, 11, 12, write it. 13, 14, 15. 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Write it. 13, 14, 15, 16. Write it. 17, 18, 19, 20. Plus 4. 4 more. 29, 30, 31, 32. Using your fingers, quick. 6 plus 6 is 12. Count. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Write it. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Write it. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Plus 6. Count. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. It takes seconds. 7 plus 7 is 14. Count. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Plus 7 is 28, because 7 plus 1 is 8. Count. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 7 more. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. 2 plus 7 is 9, so 49. And that's how I would do it. And why do I want to use my fingers? Because if you're going to spend time doing this, you want it accurate. You want it perfect. And then you start cheating and you look down. Well, 6, 12. You know, we would have had the 3s. Imagine, I'm going to fill this in. You know, if you had done these with the kids, right? And then this is our 6th row. So 60, 66. So at this point, that's when I start cheating. And we're looking at the 7, 7, 14, 21, 28, 49, 7 more. You know, 56. And we would have counted on our fingers. The 8s, well, 8, 16, 24. 8, 16, 24. 32, 40, 48. 32, 40, 48. 56. And then I would use my fingers to keep counting. And plus 8. Plus 8. And then bam. And then 12s. 12, 2 12s is 24. And then I add like that with my kids. Just put 12 underneath. Plus 12 is 72. Plus 12. And no, I don't do that because look, dummy, they're all right here. You just fill them in. Sorry, I had a moment. You just cheat. You should already have them done. That's 7 minutes and 30 seconds with just us. And that's me modeling. So I think I'm reforming my idea of the teaching. I would reteach this myself for maybe no more than 10 minutes. Just as a whole class, you writing, not them writing. Well, yeah. It's not two-sided. So I would just have them help you, and you model like using your fingers and stuff. No more than 10 minutes. You modeling how to make this. Then hand out these papers and let them know if you finish in 10 minutes and make a 95, you're going to get a candy bar plus a piece of gum. If you finish in 11 to 16 minutes and make a 95, you'll get a snack-sized candy with a piece of gum. 17 to 21 minutes and make a 95 or higher, you'll get a piece of gum. And if you finish in 22 to 26 with a 95 or higher, a Jolly Rancher. Because I don't want them rushing and making a 75 and earning this. No, we want, almost perfection. This is the whole point, is to be perfect. If you don't want to buy this, then I can help you come payday because this was my idea. Or we can maybe hit up Mr. Blue, I don't know. But, so 10 minutes you modeling and reminding what you expect and how to use the hands, then time them. And obviously no more than 30 minutes. So if you gave them 30 minutes, that's 40 minutes top. That gives you another 50 minutes of class, right? Right, 90 minutes, yep. So 50 minutes to do the rest. At 30 minutes, they're done no matter where they're at. Because, tell them that when they're benchmarking after 30 minutes, you're going to make them move on because they need to get this done. And it is a grade, so in 30 minutes, if they only do half of it, they're going to make a 50 on one of their tests because we will count this as a test grade. But don't hand this out until after you've done the modeling on the overhead and made them count with you. And then y'all can use it to move into this, which you have 50 minutes to complete. There's no homework, but your pacing, you need to stick to it. We saw good pacing the other day. Mr. Blue said he walked through and was really pleased. All right, we're going to use different colors for each multiplication set on the number lines. So 4 times 11. Well, remember that multiplication is repeated addition. So they need to be looking at multiplication as 4 groups of 11. So I'm going to use my pencil. So one group of 11 is 11. What do we know 2 11s is? 22. So I'm going to jump like this. See how I'm not touching? Touch. And then 33. And then what? 44. So I'm not going to touch. All right. So there's one of my marks. All right, now I'm going to use our highlighter. 3 times 8 is really 3 groups of 8. So let's look. 3 groups of 8. 8, 16, 24. So 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 24. You know, you could have them trade with their neighbor. All right, if you have a green highlighter, trade with someone who has a blue one or whatever. 6 groups of 7. So 6 times 7. 6 groups of 7. Well, here's 1 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 7s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I know 1 plus 7 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's that 6 groups of 7, which is 42. And then, like I said, if I had a neighbor, maybe I'd switch. And this last one is 5 groups of 12. And I'd make them write groups of a couple of times. Read it, write it, say it. So 1 group of 12. And look, maybe this time I'm going to just go, there's 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 12 is 48. So you're just, all this is in 3rd grade is just reminding them of the multiple ways you can find multiplication. And a big thing is thinking in groups. All right, rewrite. All right, class, read the directions. We're rewriting addition as multiplication and equations. Looks like a bully, equations, but what is it saying? It's saying we're just sentences with equal signs. So count. Let's cross and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do we have? 6 groups of 9. Is that an equation? No. Equals. What are 6 groups of 9? Well, they can look at their multiplication chart that they made. Y'all could use up here. Or you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then work backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 9 is 54. That little trick. But I would use my multiplication chart because the whole purpose of this is showing them, hey, if you take the time to do this, you can use it again and again and again. So I'd have it nearby. All right, let's slash and count how many 6s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We have 9 groups of 6, which is 54. What do we call that? A fact. That's part of a fact family. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 fours is 16. You'll hear Owen playing. All right, what do we have here? Well, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 2. So 4 2s or 2 4s is 8. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 1, 2, 3, or 3 columns of 5, which equals 15. So you're just showing them an array. I definitely mentioned that these are called arrays. They're equal columns, even number of columns, equal number of rows to make multiplication. All right, boys, read us the next one. What are we looking for? We want to know how many groups of 5 can be made. Well, what do y'all think we should do? I'd ask the kids. Circle groups of 5. Makes sense to me. So I want everyone to circle groups of 5. You don't have to talk out loud. Just circle groups of 5, and we're going to compare our answers. And I want y'all to write your answer down. And then I'd ask them, okay, when you see their pencil stopping, all right, everyone, how many do y'all have? 5, all right, and then I would model it on the board. Okay, y'all are right. So then all right, what are we looking for? We're wanting to make groups of 4. All right, y'all do this. As they do it, I'd walk around. That way you ensure that they're doing what you've asked. Then I'd ask them to shout out the answer, and then I'd go to my overhead and model like, oh, you're right, it is 7. Of course, I think we need to finish this, sorry. Write an equation. Well, what does an equation have? Equals. So we're saying 25 divided into groups of 5 makes 5. 5 groups of 5. Ah, that'd be a fact family, wouldn't it? 5 groups of 5 is 25. And if you wanted a fact family, well, instead of 25 divided by 5 is 5, it'd be the same thing because it's the same dang numbers. But just bring back in fact families. Here, this is 28 whole shapes being split into groups of 4. And that would make 7 groups because 7 groups of 4 is 24. So that's one of your facts. And if you can do 28 divided by 4 is 7, you can do 28 divided by 7 is 4. Or 4 groups of 7 is 28. Fact family. Kind of like up here, you could show 4 groups of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 7s is 28. Well, 7 groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is also 28. Same thing. Just grouped differently. It's kind of like this. 4 groups of 2 or 2 groups of 4. You look at it 2 different ways, but it's the same amount. All right, we want to answer these division sentences. Well, this is them, and this is a big thing I see on y'all's test, is understanding that division is backwards multiplication. So instead of thinking 32 divided by 4, I'm going to think what times 4 is 32. So what times the 4s is 32? 8. So this is using their multiplication chart to do division. They might know this one. 10 groups of 5 is 50. Good. What times 5 is 35? Well, I'd get them to count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. That's 7. What times 6 is 24? So we're talking about what times 6 is 24? 4. So just using the multiplication table. Right here, if 4 times 6 is 24, then 6 times 4 is 24. All right, then I'd ask them, what do I need? Instead of 56 divided by 7, what should I be thinking? What times 7 is 56? Get them to say it out loud. So what times 7, so go to your 7s, is 56. 8. So using the multiplication chart to make division. What times 3 is 9? They may know that one right away. What times 10 is 10? 1. So some of it's mental math, but it's also proving, once again, this gives me multiplication, but it also gives me division. That's a big part. All right. And then, girls, read us about Belinda. The girls read. All right, boys, what are we looking for? We want an expression in the same fact family as 8 times 5 is 40. Well, do all of these have the numbers 8, 5, and 40? Yes, so I can't get rid of them. This is multiplication, right? What goes with multiplication? Division. Okay, so we can get rid of J and G. Let's write them out. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 8 is 40. Or 40 divided by 5 is 8. Or 40 divided by 8 is 5. Make them write it, which makes it obvious that you don't do that. Because this matches. Bam. All right, boys, read us about Andy. All right, what do we want, girls? We want total number hours practice 9 months. Okay, well, if we want the total, do we want part of it or all of it? We want all of it, so that's a whole amount. Is a whole amount big or small? Big. All right, how do we get big in math? We add or we repeatedly add. You have any hints? Times, yeah, times. Literally means times. Each means group together or group apart. Well, multiply matches multiply. So I'm thinking we got multiplication in here. So how many months are we talking about? 9 months. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Draw it. Word problems are hard because they're words. But when you see it, when people are given pictures, it becomes so much easier. All right, now let's go back. What do we know? He practices 4 times every month. Each practice lasts 2 hours. So in this month, how many times does he practice? 4. He does it 4 times. So here, I think I'm going to do it like this. So in this month, he practices P, 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 P. So in 1 month, he practices 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And I want the total number of hours. That's just times. Each practice lasts 2 hours. So this practice, 2 hours. This practice, 2 hours. This practice, 2 hours. This practice. What is that? It's repeated addition. How many times? Right, it's 4 groups of 2. So in 1 month, he practices 8 hours, right? We want for 9 months. Well, every month he's doing the same thing. 8 hours. 8 hours here. 8 hours here. So how many times are we repeatedly saying this? 9. Yeah, 9 groups of 8. Well, 9 groups of 8. 9 or 9 eights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 groups of 8. 72 hours. All right. First row, or that first table, read us about Catherine. Catherine loves pigs, blah, blah, blah. What a shock. What do we want to know? We want pigs drawn and all. Do we want some of the pigs or all of the pigs? Yeah, we want all of them. That a part or a whole. All right, so we're going to get big. Any hints? 4 times. 4 times what? 4 times the sketch. Well, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So if I did this 12 4 times, that'd be 4 groups of 12. And then I'd look at my multiplication chart, and you're going to find 48. And then this last one, Mrs. Gonzalez is wanting to put fish in the tanks. She's going to put 7 fish in each tank. We want a sentence with needed for fish. So we need a sentence to show number of fish tanks needed. So this one's kind of hard to say. I mean, do you want a whole or a part? Because you need a whole amount of tanks. So I might word this one. Do you know the whole amount of fish? Yes. Where are they? Right here. This is all the fish. So if we have the whole amount, what are we missing? A part. Well, we're missing the part of tanks. And this is where I draw. You have all these fish, and you've got a tank. And you've got a tank, right? So basically, you're taking fish and putting them into tanks. How many? 7. So let's grab 7 fish. Circle them. 7 fish go into a tank. Let's grab another 7. Another 7 go into a tank. So what are you doing if you're taking the whole group and you're pulling out groups? You're dividing. Well, that's what all of these are. So we need to know which one of these is correct. Notice they're all the same thing. It's just the quotient, the answer. Well, remember, instead of thinking divide, what do we know goes with division? Multiplication, yeah. So we should be thinking what times 7 is 56? What times 7 is 56? 8. What else could we do? Well, I could have just finished 3, 4, 5. Huh? 2, 4. What, Kevin? I could have used my picture. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks. So a kid could use their chart, a kid could use their picture or their fact knowledge. And this is what y'all are doing tomorrow. No homework. And this should not go into win period. So keep your time in your head. No more than 10 minutes of modeling, which means remind them multiplication, remind them of the numbers, highlighting. Remind them to do the simple ones. Then remind them to be smart and use their fingers to count. You're modeling it, they're answering out loud with you. And then show them how once you get halfway to start using the things they already have written. Then they get 30 minutes to do this. 30 minutes. I'd put up offices, that way there's no cheating. Tell them it is going to be a grade. You're going to grade it for a daily grade, but they also can earn prizes if they're good. I mean, if they put effort and just think, even if you don't, get the top prize, you still can earn prizes. I mean, no one's a loser unless they don't try. So they'll do that. I would tell them, well, what do I do if I finish? Turn it over and draw quietly on the back. And I'll come and grade it when I see it flipped over. And then I would go and literally go give a quick grade and write it on there. And then after 40 minutes, 10 of you modeling, 30 is the time they get because they only get 26. 30, you cut it off, and then that gives you 50 minutes to go over your notes. And pump them up for their test. Build them up. They can do it. Growth. 5 more points than the first test. That's growth. They made a 20 and now they make a 28. Good job. We're proud. We don't care if they pass or fail as long as they're showing work. If they're showing work, we're proud of them.